What is up, guys? It is your boy Pretty Dirty, and today we are here with a down and dirty review of Brighter Shores. Down and dirty is gonna be short, sweet, and to the point, so let's get started. What is it? Okay, Brighter Shores was made by Andrew Gower, who is the co-founder and lead dev of Jagex, and the childhood classic that we all probably grew up on playing and are probably still playing, RuneScape. Okay, so what is Brighter Shores? It's currently free on Steam, so you're not really losing anything by giving it a shot already. It's basically just like another open world MMORPG, very similar to RuneScape in art and combat, and we'll get into all that in a little bit, but it's RuneScape, but in 2024 and a little bit different. So with it being free, it does have a $5.99 a month membership, which comes into play after the first 2 episodes, and you're probably thinking, what do you mean by episodes? We'll get into that in a little bit. So basically, the first part of the game is free. After that, it's just $6 a month to get to the membership stuff. So like we said, it's an MMORPG, very similar in art and gameplay of RuneScape. It has the same point-and-click combat, point-and-click movement, very tile-based when you're moving, if that makes any sense. And originally, I was going to do a pros and cons list, but as I'm thinking about it, cons to me could be pros to you. So I'm just going to tell you what the game is, and y'all can fight in the comments about whether we like or dislike them. First and foremost, let's talk about professions. I want to do this first because I feel like, to me, this is what this game is kind of built around and is the priority of the game, is the professions. They can be a little grindy, if I'm going to be honest with you, which, again, pro and cons. Some of you might perk your ears up and get excited. Some of you might already be turning and leaving to another video. I'm not a fan of the loop. I haven't played like dozens and dozens of hours. I have a full-time job. I just don't have that kind of time. I've played a little bit, and I've researched the loop, and basically everything's broken down into episodes. Within each episode, there's a dedicated list of professions that attach to that episode. So, for example, in episode 1, you have fishing, foraging, and then your combat thing is like a guard, which we'll talk about that in a second as well. But basically, you're in the same loop, fishing eels, puffer fish, and then as your fishing level increases, the level of those fish also increase. So essentially, you will be fishing a level 2 eel, and then maybe you come back in 10, 15 levels, and now the eels are level 15, and you're fishing for eels again. That part does not excite me. I think when it comes to professions, things that excite me most in games is getting off into areas that other people can't get because my level's high enough, fishing items that have more value or rarity that I can acquire that others can't, that people will pay money for because they don't feel like grinding that particular profession. Not a fan of the profession loop. I have heard that later on in the game, they make a little bit more sense and they tie in and they get really cool. I just fear that people won't put in that much time in order to enjoy a game. I personally am tired of, oh, you gotta put in 40, 50, 60 hours and the game gets fun. No! The game should be fun off rip. So speaking on the episodes, each little zone that you're in, it's not exactly like a giant open world map. Each episode is its zone. The zone is open, and then as you go on to other episodes, you enter new zones. Like I said, the professions are tied to each zone. So if you're fishing in episode 1, you will not be fishing in episode 2. Episode 2, I think, has mining, and it has like a combat thing called Scout, I think is the episode 2. But basically, that's how that's broken down. A lot of people I've heard, they're not really too fond of that, so I'll let you guys decide about that in the comments too. Now, the combat, to me, very bland, boring. It's the same as RuneScape, but somehow just feels worse to me. I know when I first started, which was like 2 or 3 days ago, it had, you know, you left click something and then you have to left click of what you want to attack it with. And the double clicking to get to everything was very, very tedious. And it was honestly probably the most annoying thing I dealt with in the whole game. But as of this morning, they fixed that. You now have an option to go into your settings and turn on single-click features. I haven't tried it out yet, but I just read the patch notes. So that's really cool, which brings me on to another point where the devs are super, super active. I think it's actually just Andrew Gower, so the dev. I'm sorry. If there's more people there, you guys are awesome, and you're included, and you're really productive too. So essentially, within each zone, you have your own combat skill. So in episode 1, it's guard. Episode 2, it's scout. You could have a level 100 guard in episode 1, go to episode 2, and now you're at 0 combat scout. It doesn't make any sense to me. I wish they would attach some sort of like, oh, you leveled up your guard, you have higher crit chance with melee, higher hit rating with melee, something. Oh, you leveled up your scout, you're going to have higher range damage, higher hit chance with arrows, something like that. Further range. But really, there's zero purpose. You just get reset back to 0, and it kind of hurts the soul a little bit. So that has to be worked on. Not a fan of that at all. With the quests are actually pretty good. There's a lot of funny dialogue that's kind of quirky, made me chuckle a little bit without being too cheesy. The quests are very rewarding so far. You get done, and you're like, wow, I just solved a puzzle. I actually just went out and accomplished something. I'm coming back and getting a reward, XP, whatever it is. The quests so far have been actually a joy to complete. They are difficult, but like I said, rewarding when you do complete them. Like I said, super down and dirty, straight to the point. If you have any questions, feel free to answer them in comments. Don't come beat me up, okay, because I didn't talk about everything. Again, full-time job. I'm here to tell you what you guys want to know, what you want to hear, and then I got to go to work or go do something else. But overall, the game is pretty good. I'd recommend at least trying it. If you're into that grind, number go up, I'm happy, monkey brain mentality, then by all means, I think this game could be for you. I think the grind of things is going to be a little more time consuming than what people are willing to sink into it for very little reward. I do think this game is going to be good in 6 months. I'm tired of saying that. And I feel like within that time, when the game is finally getting good, people are going to be over it. There's not going to be enough things to do. It's just going to kind of fizzle away and maybe not come back. I love to be wrong, but that's my thoughts. So appreciate you guys. Stay dirty, and let me know if you like this format. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.